right, late night marathon. Good to see you. Michael Lee is in the building. Onyx is here. Late night conversation. I want to talk about this tariff situation. I've been thinking about that all day. It's very interesting. They try to make it confusing. Between Rounds TV is here. They try to make it confusing. I guess because it's two different sides. So this one is saying this and this one is saying that. Trump is saying that he wants to drive businesses back to America. And he wants to stop buying more products from everybody than they buy from us, if I'm not mistaken. So he's trying to balance it out. America's probably dependent on too many imports, but it's not balancing out with the exports, which makes sense, seeing that Americans are some big consumers. That's highly possible. Not to mention, over many years, America has let a lot of their top businesses decline. They did not put the money back in business. Now, from what I understand, America is deep in debt with China. From what I understand. All right. So I'm trying to figure out, how does this all work with the debt? Right? How are you going to war with China with tariffs? And as of recent data, China holds approximately 759 billion in U.S. debt, making it a significant foreign holder, though Japan holds the largest amount at over 1 trillion. So we owe Japan 1 trillion, and we owe China 769 billion. Japan is the large foreign holder of U.S. debt with over 1 trillion, followed by China. We owe them 759 billion, and we owe the United Kingdom 723 billion. Now, how? How do we owe 1 trillion, 759 billion, and 723 billion? How? Where is the money? Does anybody know where that money is? Huh? How? Now, to me, that sounds like somebody should be going to prison. I don't know if it's me, but it sounds like somebody should be going to prison, because where is that money? Because the American citizens haven't seen a dollar of it. So has somebody been embezzling? Does anybody know where that money is? Does anybody know why taxpayers don't know this? Why did I not know this? Does anybody know why I didn't know we owe that much money? Because I had no idea. I just found out we owe China 759 billion. I did not know we owe Japan $1 trillion and the United Kingdom almost the same amount as we owe China. Does anybody know anything about this in the chat? Does anybody know anything about this? Because I just found out just right now when I just searched it for you all. And I've been watching the news, and they did mention China, but they did not mention Japan. Why? And they did not mention the United Kingdom. What is going on, y'all? Does anybody know what the hell is going on? That Americans do not know that. You can't tell me that the American public know that. There's no way. There's no way Americans know that. There is no way. What's going on, Jody? Am I tripping? Do Americans know that? Am I just... I'm just finding this out now, live. Do Americans know this? Because I did never heard this before. I've always heard about back and forth with China, but I did not know that we owe Japan $1 trillion. We owe China 759 billion, and we owe the United Kingdom 723 billion. For what? What did we buy? How did that benefit the taxpayers? Because that's taxpayer money. What did they do with the money? What did they buy? What did they do with the money? Why did they borrow the money? And what did they do with the money that we already been paying taxes to take care of? Whatever. What did they do? Are these congressmen and senators and governors and presidents, are they misappropriating funds? Because that's what it looks like. How much of this money did they get in their personal coffers? Our politicians, did they take all the money? Is this why they got Elon Musk because shit's finna hit the fan. So this is why they doing all this fake budget. Uh, so that means we got to come up with over $2 trillion to pay everybody off. Where they going to get the 2 trillion to pay everybody off? I am totally confused. And what's up with MSNBC, ABC, CNN? Why aren't they reporting this? Where is the news? Because the Americans do not know this. I am sure Americans do not know this. Like, nobody knows this. Japan has not been mentioned in the news at all. All they talk about is China and Russia. I've never heard anything about Japan or the United Kingdom. Am I just, and I'm thinking I'm watching everything. Does anybody have any idea about this? Teresa, you haven't heard nothing about it either. Huh? I've never heard this. I just found this out now. I went to try to search the debt to see how much America owed China. I knew that. And then all of this came up. And we owe Japan $1 trillion. So if we owe Japan $1 trillion, and we owe China 759 billion, and we owe the United Kingdom 723 billion, why don't we know this information? Nobody said nothing. The Democrats saying nothing. The Republicans saying nothing. Nobody. See, these people are all in this together. Because if they were really enemies, they would have told this. They have both been keeping this a secret. This has happened under both administrations. There's no way we got a debt like this in no 2 or 3, 4 years. This is years of debt and mismanagement. This could easily be 10 years, 12 years worth of mismanagement. Easily. How the hell you owe Japan $1 trillion for what? Like what? What did they give us and where did it go? If we borrowed $1 trillion for Japan, what did we borrow it for? Like, where is it? We didn't borrow it to invest and make money. What did they do with it? Don't nobody know this. Yeah, don't nobody know this. This is almost ruining my whole conversation for tonight because I was going to talk about something else. And I was just going to start out by talking about the tariffs and all that. But now I pull this up and I don't really know what to say at this point. Because I'm totally confused now. I was expecting that with China. I'm not expecting this news from Japan and the United Kingdom. I mean, there's not much difference in the money we owe China and the United Kingdom. But I mean, how much is 700 billion? I mean, we owe two countries 700 billion. Together, we owe them, whew, $1 trillion too. Like $1 trillion and what, 400 billion or something crazy number? What the hell is going on? Where is... You know, when you look at this country, now it's all making sense. They're broke. They're flat broke and the laughing stock of the world. Do you know that? We don't know that, but the other countries is laughing because America's over here walking, but America's broke. Imagine if you Japan, you the United Kingdom, you China, and you look at America, you say, if the American people knew America's walking around like they this great country and they owe everybody. America's almost 40 trillion in debt to the Federal Reserve. He says anybody could buy your debt like a tax lien. This is... Okay, so Americans have been paying all these taxes. The government been taking our money and doing what with it? Paying themselves enormous salaries and doing nothing? Like, does this not look like governmental misappropriation of funds? So pretty much anything they do, they're just trying to make us pay off this debt. So is Elon Musk cutting all this stuff because we can't afford it? Yeah, buying their own islands to run to. Is that why Elon Musk got to fire people and cut debt? Because the shit's finna hit the fan? So rather than admit we ran out of money, just dump a bunch of people? So you don't got to say, hey, we can't pay y'all? We don't have payroll? Does the United States government not have payroll for the government employees? Oh my God, this is giving me the creeps. So is that why they brought in Elon Musk? Somebody with some money trying to see if he'll pay it off for them? This is all beginning to look crazy. So is this why they're pandering to Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and Elon Musk? To try to see if they can figure out a way to pay this debt off? Because now this whole thing is looking very, 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 very criminal and suspicious. Because where is all the money and what are we paying the IRS for? What is the IRS doing with our money? And we're paying taxes and what? I am totally confused now. Okay, so now imagine these people in America that's sending all this money to the IRS Every time you work, you go to work, you work Monday through Friday. You decide to do extra overtime Saturday and Sunday. You get $1,600, they take 800. And do what with it? What are they doing with the money, the people's money? Okay, so now I see why stores are closing. Now I see why homeless people is everywhere. Oh, this is a wake up call. Oh, it all makes sense. They don't have any money to do anything about homelessness. They don't have any money to stop the drugs. They need the drugs to generate some kind of money. They don't have the money. Oh my God. So they put Donald Trump in there. They bring Elon Musk. They got all these oligarchs standing around. It's because they're broke. This is why these oligarchs look like that. Y'all, I'm tripping. I post this picture. Let me show y'all this picture. I post this picture of these oligarchs. I'm tripping, y'all. Now, look at their faces and their posture. Look at Zuckerberg. Look at Bezos. This picture gives me the creeps now. Doesn't Zuckerberg look like he don't want to give up his money? Like he don't want to help? I mean, his expression is like, why y'all calling me in here to donate some of my money to pay this debt? Bezos too. Look at Bezos looking like, I'm not giving up my fortune to pay this off. Unless I'm tripping. $14 trillion from Trump's first term. So we went 14 trillion in debt under this guy the first time. And they put his ass back in there. Because I always looked at this picture and it was just weird. I'm like, this picture is weird. The only people smiling is the two people with the dark hair, the girl and the guy with the beard. But the other three, Bezos and Zuckerberg, they do not. And Musk knows what's going on. So he confided in Musk and tried to figure out if Musk was trying to figure out some way they could save some money. So they're gonna turn all that light. They're gonna turn everything off, ain't they? We're about to have some type of shut down for some reason. Unless I'm tripping. They got to get that money. That's Bezos' wife. They got to get that money. How they going to get the money? And say somebody hit the grid. Because how are they going to pay the? Because that debt has to be paid. There's no way this debt could just sit there. They've got to do, these people want their money. What do these people want for their money? What do they want if they don't get their money? What is America going? Philanthropy not going to save the U.S. It don't look like it. War. They got to go to war, don't they? They got to go to war. They got to go to war. Clayton, you're 100% correct. I was trying not to say it. They got to go to war. If they go to war with China, they ain't got to pay them shit. Japan could just accidentally get hit in the war. They ain't got to pay them. Mm-hmm. So now I'm looking at everything that's happening, and I'm looking at Gaza. I'm looking at the migrant situation. I'm looking at Russia, the Ukraine. All that's looking way different. I'm looking at Trump and Elon and all of them, and this Elon now is tripping me out. I'm getting creeped out over Elon because I was trying to figure out what the hell. Oh my God. So this is why the Democrats ain't really mad about Elon. Because the Democrats and the Republicans are keeping this secret. Hold on, man. In this government, when you're in power and the other side's going against you, they expose everything to try to make you look bad. Meaning, if the Democrats did this, Trump would expose it. We in all this debt because of them. If the Republicans did it, then the Democrats would expose them. If the Democrats did them, the Republicans would be, we're in all the trouble because of them, and I got to get in there and fix it. But neither one of them is saying anything. So it's safe to say they all did it. The entire government did this, no matter who was president. They just passed this back and forth. Ain't neither side said nothing. Has any side, Democrat or Republican, exposed this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do my live I was gonna do later. I cannot talk about what I was gonna talk about right now. Cause it just I ain't gonna be able what I plan to say, I can't do it anymore. And this man ain't that crazy. You seen this all live. I just was gonna search the debt. So I could know. I knew they was talking about the debt to China. So I'm thinking I'm gonna search the jet. They're gonna show the 700 something we owe to China. Boom, we talk about that. I didn't know I was gonna see that we owe Japan $1 trillion and we owe the United Kingdom 723 trillion. My whole conversation is shot right now. I can't even tie this into what I'm getting ready to talk about. It don't even go together. I'm gonna change the title. And I don't even know what to say about this. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I'm really at a loss for words. I don't know what to say right now. I don't. I hadn't planned this. This why he want to audit Fort Knox. He want to count the gold. They done did something with the gold. The Republicans are trying to cut spending, but to lose this much money, the Republicans had to be in on the spending. This has to happen under both parties. No way this happens under one party. No way this happens under the Democrats or the Republicans. This has happened under the whole United States government. So all of this Democrat versus Republican stuff is fake, y'all. It's fake. This is why Obama and Trump was so cordial and smiling. This is this fake. They have all put us in debt because none of them exposed it. They're all in on it. They stealing. They've stole all our money. They misappropriated all them funds. Got us thinking it's this side or that side. Neither side told the American public this. And I'm on top of I'm watching the news. I'm all over social media. And y'all know, if you're on Instagram or TikTok and it's something big like this, you don't even have to go click over there for nothing but 3 minutes, you're going to see it. Y'all know that. You know, some people say, oh, you know, they think you be on social media a lot to see this stuff. No, you do not have to be on there that long. Soon as you go on there, you see all this stuff. You can go on Instagram and be over there for 30 minutes and you're going to see everything going on. 30 minutes. If you got YouTube and you subscribe, you're going to see whatever going on. In 15 minutes, you're going to see it. It's going to be the top of your subscriptions, especially if you're following MSNBC, ABC, CNN, any new, you're going to see this. If you turn on your TV, you're going to, it's no way as much news as we see that we wouldn't know about this debt. The news ain't said nothing. They in on it too. Has anybody seen the news say this? I have not seen the news, have never told me. I ain't heard nothing about Japan. Hold on. Japan. I'm going to go this month. This month, Japan. Nothing. Markets plunge, stock lower, rice crisis, Asian markets plunge. Japan will ask us to cut tariffs. I don't see nothing. Japan could lose $17 billion in car exports due to U.S. tariffs. How the hell could Japan lose $17 billion when we owe them $1 trillion? Man, they playing with us, man. Hold on a minute. You see this? We owe Japan $1 trillion. Okay. Now, maybe it's me. You tell me, do this make any sense? Does this make any sense? Japan could lose $17 billion in car exports due to U.S. tariffs, says UN Trade. How can they lose $17 billion when we owe them $1 trillion? How can Japan lose $17 billion with tariffs in the U.S. when the U.S. owe them $1 trillion? How could they lose anything? $17 billion, and what? $17 billion ain't nothing. If you owe me $1 trillion, take it out the money you owe me. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not losing nothing if you owe me that. If you have tariffs and you make me lose 17 billion, I need 25 billion of the money you owe me then. Run the bread, run me 25 billion out of the trillion you owe me. And run it today, right now. Unless I'm crazy. If you owe me $1 trillion and you send me a bill for 17 billion, what I'm gonna tell you? Take it out the money you owe me and send me 25 trillion of what you owe me then, asshole. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm tripping. There's no way I'm paying you when you owe me. I'm not paying you nothing. I'm not paying anything. I'm not. If you put tariffs on me, run my money. Send me my money then. Unless I'm crazy. If I'm doing business and you try to hijack me for tariffs, trying to make it hard on me, and you owe me $1 trillion, I am so confused. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the governmental finances. Maybe it's just me. But I bet you I ain't the only American that'd be like, what the hell? We protect Japan from China. If we protect Japan from China, then we don't owe them shit. That's why I'm confused. Then there is no debt. Okay, I get it. I see what's going on. You know what I think going on? You know what I think going on, right? This all I hate to tell y'all this. You know what? You know what? You know what this look like this is all about? Y'all, we might be headed for war. We headed for war. Because this war gonna clear all that debt with China and Japan. Wow. I was not gonna talk about this. I was not expecting to go down this rabbit hole. This the answer right here. This the answer right here. Quaylen said war. I had to think about it. War where? Oh my God. They finna go to war over Taiwan. Oh my God. They finna go to war with Taiwan. I was not expecting to go down this rabbit hole. They are about to go to war over Taiwan. The People's Liberation Army Eastern Theater Command announced Wednesday that it wrapped up 2 days of drills around Taiwan, vowing to maintain combat readiness and prevent any attempts of Taiwanese independence from China. Because they supposed to be going independent any day. I forgot about that. What day are they supposed to go independent? Oh my fucking God. Look, on Wednesday, the troops carried out a military exercise codenamed Straight Thunder 2025A in the middle of the southern sea areas of the Taiwan Strait, with the exercise mainly focused on training subjects such as identification and verification, warning and expulsion, and interception and detention in the bid to test the command's troops' capabilities in regional control, joint blockade, and precision strike. Damn, man. Ain't just some shit, man. Oh, man. Oh, my God, y'all. I ain't paid no attention. I forgot about Taiwan. Look, y'all. What is Taiwan's independent, and is Taiwan already independent? The United States Department of Taiwan page last week removed a previous reference to not supporting Taiwan's independence. What the hell? There's a date this shit's supposed to hit the fan. What is the date? Mm-mm. Okay, so this whole Taiwan thing, they've been talking about it for years, but at some point it's supposed to be I guess it would be the time where Taiwan gonna make that final split. America does this, so when they get ready to get into something, they'll put a certain president in there. So why is Trump in there now? What Trump is in there for some bullshit, basically. I'm gonna have to just talk about this and leave this. I'm gonna end up having to do a whole live on this. I gotta go do some research on what the hell going on. Because something's going on. Something's going on with that debt, these tariffs, Taiwan, China, Russia, Ukraine. Something serious is going on. And I don't want to scare nobody, but the whole Elon Musk and all the cuts, could that be a war chest? And check this out. This was oh my God, because I just seen the video of the new fighter jet, the picture of the new fighter jet. Trump says Boeing will build a new generation of fighter jets. But I just seen a picture where they said they unveiled the jet. Hold on. I thought I seen a picture of that jet. These fools trying to go to war. Man, I'm telling you, man. I just seen this. Oh my God. These people finna go to war, y'all. They ain't just, man. Let me see when they showed this picture. This was just in March. These people finna go to war. I swear to God. They sure did say they was ready for terror war, any other kind of war. They sure did say that, Josh, the other day. Last week, they sure did say that. I thought that sounded funny. They sure did say that. And I thought it sounded funny. Orlando body sculpted. I swear to God, bro. This is, I swear to God, bro. I wasn't going to talk about this. And this just popped up. And now I'm tripping. Because I just seen today or yesterday the new jet. They've been talking about the F-47. And you know they not talking about it unless it's ready already. Oh man, these people finna go to war. And you know what else too? Have y'all been on Instagram and noticed these like military type dudes talking about uh the collapse of the country and how to cook outside without. It's this one dude in on there. He's saying how to cook outside and you can't let no fire show because people are gonna come and unalive you if they see where you cooking. Have y'all noticed that? And they got all these dudes. They got this one dude, and he's always on there talking all this crazy survival stuff. Hold on. Because Instagram is just showing us what they want to show us. This dude, have y'all seen this dude? This dude is always on there lately talking about survival stuff and all that. Have y'all noticed this dude has been flooding? Always talk about survival gear and have y'all noticed that? And like they all over the YouTube. Cause I think the guy and he's talking about they're just popping up. I'm not following them. And they all keep talking about when the grid go down, do this. When the grid go down, do that. It's been for the last 3 months. When the grid go down, when the grid go down. I'm like, why they keep talking about when the grid go down? And they all look like government agents, like somebody told them to get up there and say that. And somebody gave them like the clearance for all of us to see that, because I'm not following them. These people finna go to war. Oh my God. It all makes sense now, man. And this and the drone, and them telling us to get iodine. It leaked to get iodine tablets because I got a bunch of iodine tablets, and they said somebody stole a nuclear weapon, possibly, and they had all these drones, and everybody act like what all these drones was, which was some bullshit. There's no way it just was all these drones flying around on the East Coast, and like the government just didn't do nothing. It just, you know what I'm saying? Remember the whole, it's these things in the sky. What are they? That was, come on, bruh. And Amazon sold all them nuclear, all them iodine tablets because I had all my relatives order some. I don't know if y'all did, but we ordered iodine tablets. They had people ordering iodine tablets. Talk about that could be nuclear, that somebody stole a nuclear weapon. I think they did, Quaylen. But remember the drones, and they were trying to pretend that we don't know what they are. They're all over the East Coast. Then they said somebody on the East Coast stole a nuclear weapon, and the drones was trying to find it. And I was calling people, telling them to go get their iodine tablets. You know what? My mind's all over the place right now. I don't even know what to tell y'all because I wasn't going to talk about none of this. I'm going to have to change this title. I'm going to leave it up, but I really don't know that much what to say because right now I'm very suspicious. This didn't change my whole night. You know what I'm saying? Once I seen this, that just opened a whole can of worms. Once I opened this and seen how much we was in debt, now I'm thinking about how Trump is acting. I'm thinking about he brought in all these oligarchs. Why he bringing all these billionaires into the government? It's not making no sense. But now it kind of is. And the way China been moving real crazy. China been moving real militant and talking big shit. They're like they with it if that's what we want to do. And then the last black guy head of the military, he was having physical problems and they couldn't find him. They was mad because he was in the hospital. They couldn't find him. Like all from the last 6 months of the Biden administration till now, now this is all beginning to make like some sense. This is all beginning to make some sense. Like these people are getting ready to go to war. These people finna go to war. I gotta go get me some. I gotta go get me some more survival. I gotta go get me some food and shit. The food I had last time, that food, I didn't have it too long. I gotta throw it out. They going to war, Teresa, because they cannot pay this debt off. Come on, they owe Japan $1 trillion. Why don't any American know that we owe Japan $1 trillion? We owe China 759 billion, and nobody knows we owe the United Kingdom 723 billion. People know we owe China 700 billion, but nobody knows about Japan and the United Kingdom. I guarantee you. This is, and Japan and China, if they go to war over Taiwan, that knocks both of those bills out. That's almost 2 trillion they're gonna save. These fools trying to go to war. So okay, that's what makes us sense about the Ukraine. America's with Putin, like we can't really go to war with you right now. We finna go to war with China. And we're gonna need you to help us with China. So we're gonna get Biden out of there. We're gonna put Trump in there so you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do in Ukraine as long as you back us up when we go at China. You can have Ukraine. I wonder if Zelensky was so tripped out with Trump when he went to see Trump. It looked like they finna sail the Ukraine right down the drain. Because they want Taiwan. They want Taiwan bad. Wow. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm gonna end this live because I gotta like go to sleep. I gotta wake up tomorrow and I gotta think about all this. I'm gonna change this, but I'm gonna name this something about how we reveal this or how this just came up because this is like it's mind blowing and it's a little scary because I've been seeing stuff but none of it made no sense, but it's making a lot of sense now that I see this. And when I see this and I think about these tariffs, I'm saying this tariff shit ain't gonna do nothing about this. So go miss me with that. How you gonna owe China 759 billion and have tariffs against them when you in debt to them? Does that make sense to anybody? Listen, does it make any sense that you're gonna have a tariff war against somebody you owe 759 billion to? That ain't no sense. You're 100% right, Pharaoh. That's not making no sense. Like how you owe somebody but go to tariff war with them. And then why is you constantly telling America about you going back and forth with China, but ain't said nothing that you owe Japan $1 trillion? Don't know why Americans don't know you owe Japan $1 trillion. And our main enemy that I've been saying, the United Kingdom, and that Antichrist William just laying in the cut, but you owe him the same amount you owe China, basically. And why they so quiet? Because you cannot trust him, because I believe he's the Antichrist. So just seeing these three, Japan $1 trillion, China 759 billion, but the United Kingdom 723 billion. That's giving me the creeps. And why do America got this much debt? And how America in debt when we the one paying the taxes? What the hell are they doing with our money? Y'all, I gotta go. I can't even talk about this no more. This is too much. I'm gonna talk about it like later on tonight because it's already Monday. I gotta go get my mind together, talk about this. And the FBA tariffs, I'm gonna change the title. I'll talk about this because that's what I was gonna talk about. I was gonna talk about how America having tariffs because they saying ain't nobody spending with them the same way they spending with everybody else. And I was gonna say, well, Black Americans need to have tariffs in our community and rebuild our community because we spending with motherfuckers that ain't spending with us. But now I can't even talk about that. I got to change the title. I'll talk about that later on tonight. When I come back live later today, I'm going to be trying to figure this out. And it looked like I'm going to have to do a survival video. Man, they getting on my nerves. GK, they getting on my nerves, man, because, you know, it's looking like we're going to have to go through all kind of changes because these fools want to fight and these fools don't know how to manage money and these fools don't care nothing about the citizens. These politicians that run all these countries, they'll go out there and have a war. They all filthy rich and then they want our sons and grandsons to go out there and do the fighting for some shit they starting. Because all this just looked like war to me. The whole election, everything. It's giving me the creeps. It looked like, oh, okay, Elon Musk is building up a war chest. They trying to save money without telling you, y'all, we need money. We finna go to war. Unless I'm tripping, maybe I'm tripping. But that's what all this stuff they doing, government. It's like they didn't tell us why they was doing it. You're like, well, what you bringing it in? What are you doing all this for? What is you doing all this for? Teresa, Teresa, what do we owe any of them for, sweetie? What do we owe the UK? What do we owe Japan $1 trillion for? Now, Josh said they probably bought our debt. But how you gonna sell somebody your debt and you can't pay them? Josh said our military is leveraged. Hopefully, it's gonna have to be all automated because they can't get nobody in the military because everybody's overweight and sick and they can't get nobody to enlist. People can't even finish basic training. They can't get nobody in the military because too many people, too many Americans are fat and sick. They ain't even telling that part. They ain't gonna be able to draft no people if they don't got the robotics. Oh my God. And then Elon Musk I got inside sources that was telling me that they've been working 12 hours a day at Tesla trying to get these robots ready, but they don't know why, for what. That they're trying to get that Tesla robots ready. And they got people working day and night to get the production out. I know damn well these fools ain't trying to have no robots fight no war. That they ain't tested. They ain't tested for war. You know, these people is crazy. You know that? The drones that was flying everywhere, GK. Remember the drones that they said was all over the East Coast and nobody knew what they was? They said it was a tariff war prior to World War II. See, Smoot and Hawley Tariff Act 1930. See, I believe you, devastating. One thing is, a lot of times you'll see all this stuff going on and you don't have no idea what's going on. And you're like, okay, this is weird. What are they doing that for? Okay, this is weird. What are they doing that for? Okay, this is weird. And then all of a sudden you'll see something and then all that stuff begin to make sense. And right now, all this stuff I thought was weird because I thought all this was a weird. Warren Buffett said tariff was an act of war. Warren Buffett went and got all his money too. Didn't he pull all his money out? He cashed out and got all his money. They was talking about that, what, a month or two ago, that Warren Buffett cashed all his stocks out and all that, didn't he? And got all his cash. He shut down, he cashed out, if I'm not mistaken. Dang, y'all. This messed up, man, when the citizens work hard and we the last to know what's going on and we in the front line for the danger. And all of these billionaires been building bunkers for the last year. They've been building bunkers. These people going to war. These people going to wars. And over the last 2 years, they've been coming out with these walkie talkies. They ain't never had these. They've been coming out with these phones that you don't need no T-Mobile or nothing. It's just a phone. You could but it's a phone, but it's like a walkie-talkie and it's a phone. And I kept thinking maybe I should buy some of these. I remember JT, the bigger figure, bought a pair. Dropping this stuff for the smart people to buy and know. Y'all been seeing them. Oh man. Y'all been seeing them phones that they selling all of a sudden? That they've been selling all over the place. I started to order 2 of them. These things. Y'all been noticing these things right here? These nationwide long range radio. That's what I'm saying, Apex. All of a sudden they pushing those. They pushing those. Like all of this is beginning to make a lot of sense. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Look, I lost my internet on my phone. Maybe I'm talking too deep. They've been pushing these. They've been pushing these hard. They've been pushing them. They've been pushing them hard. I mean, many different kind too. And I was like, should I get one of these? And like, wow, man, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I wasn't expecting this. This is crazy. You know that? I don't know. We ain't really talking about AI. Wow. This is crazy. You know that? These people finna go to war. You know that? I'm just thinking back. Oh, the stuff they've been pushing for the last 2 or 3 months. Like these people finna go to war. I watched a special with China. You know what I'm saying? I watched China when they had like their big event recently where they all got to come to their capital or whatever. And it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't really with no weird stuff right now, bro. If you ain't got nothing to come over here, if you just want to type a bunch of weird stuff, bro, you know what I'm saying? I just ain't with that right now. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody else will entertain that shit, bro. I'm not really into all that weirdo. I ain't into that, bro. Well, maybe somebody else will entertain that weirdo shit, bro. If you coming over here really typing no real information and you doing all that spookism and hinting, bro, I ain't with all that. Say something or be quiet, bro. I ain't with all that fake. You ain't said nothing. You done typed 3 times, ain't said nothing that can help nobody. The war's already here, brother. Man, shut up. I don't be want to hear that weird shit, man. Right, when you come over here, come bring something to the table. Not no spookism and I ain't trying to hear that, bro. You got something real to say? Say something. I ain't doing none of that weirdo shit. Like you trying to tell me something, but you ain't telling me nothing. I'm like, man, it look like they finna go to war. The war's already here, brother. Where, fool? I'm talking about a real war, and you talk about some, bro. Some of these brothers is tripped out, bro. We talking about a real war. We ain't in no war yet like that. Yeah, they say. Yeah, do you know about solar flare? Yeah, yeah, they can knock out power grids. Yeah, They've been talking about that lately too, that the power grids is open. And I've been hearing all of these strange things at the same time. They've been talking about the attack on the power grids last week. I heard that too. I haven't heard that in a long time since a couple of them got messed up. Then you got all these people saying if our grids go down, people will be dead in so many months and all type of stuff they've been saying recently. And then Trump, it's like he worked for the ops because he totally weakening. It's like he trying to help. Man, Trump looked like he worked for the enemy. Because why would you fire all these military people that know how to do it and put all these bootleg military men in there that don't know what the fuck they doing? These dudes got on some damn shit talking and anybody can intercept it. So I look, I don't trust him. I think Trump is, man, I think Trump is already compromised by Putin. I think Trump's wife is a spy. I believe Trump is a traitor. But I can't just say I believe Trump is a traitor. I believe Trump worked for the Russians. I believe his wife is a spy. I just do. Because everything he's doing almost undermines the country. And he's a dumbass and he's not prepared for no war or nothing like that. That's the type of motherfucker that'll pack his shit and leave. That motherfucking Trump, he ain't nobody to be with you under no hard times. He'll disappear. He'll take his money and leave and go in a bunker and just leave us out here. That selfish motherfucker, I would not want him to be no president in no time of war. Hell no, him or Biden. Biden didn't even know where the fuck he was at. I would not want Trump to be no president in no time of war. Them MAGA motherfuckers can't bust a grape. Them goddamn MAGAs that went to the Capitol, they can't beat the Crips. The Crips will chase them motherfuckers down the street butt naked. Them people wasn't built for no war. Them was a bunch of losers. They wasn't gangster like that. Them white people out there at the Capitol, them motherfuckers can't beat nobody. Bunch of motherfuckers with no teeth in their mouth, bunch of hillbillies out there hooting and hollering. They wasn't no threat to nobody. Them white boys that just jumped out with the black clothes on in some place out that truck, them niggas, that 5 black dudes that chased them down the street butt naked. Them motherfuckers playing G.I. Joe. Them dudes ain't nothing. I go out there with 4 gangbangers and chased all them white boys home. 4 gangbangers. I go out there with 4 niggas don't know how to shoot, just got guns and just be and chase them back home. They trying to bring in robots. How they gonna bring in robots and win a war when they got one room full of they got enough high-tech scientists to fill up one basketball arena, and the Chinese got enough high-tech scientists to build up 5 whole buildings. We don't even have enough people to go toe-to-toe with them for technology. And they've been hacking all our shit now for the last 2 or 3 years. Them and Russia been hacking, closing down big companies and everything. Remember they held them other people hostage, held all the information hostage. They had to pay a ransom. Some bank or whatever, some financial business, what was that, 2 years ago? And hackers hacked they shouldn't have to pay to get it unhacked. And then they was just recently telling you they're going to hack your phone if you got an Android or whatever. And they had the goddamn border open. So we don't even know who over here. Because they was too dumb to secure the border and just anybody might be over here. Remember all the Chinese ran up off the beach and disappeared? And jumped in the cars and nobody seen them no more? Immigration and the feds and shit saying that when all the other migrants come here, they can track them. But they said once the Chinese get over here, they disappear. Who remember them Chinese ran off the beach in Florida and disappeared? How many of them been coming up on that beach on them beaches at night and disappeared? Them was probably just ship got lost and got here late so the people seen them. Who remember that? Who remember that? When them Chinese just got off them boats and just ran and they couldn't catch them. They talking about 19 Chinese. They don't know how many it was. Here go right here, 19 people from China, 3 from Ecuador arrive in Florida. This ain't probably ain't even the story. This ain't even the story. Because they don't know how many it was because they never caught them. This ain't the story. Because they only caught like 3. This ain't the story. Because they only caught like 3 of them. Here go the story right here. When them Chinese just ran, they don't know where they at. Florida GOP lawmakers raised alarm on illegal Chinese immigrants who sailed to Key Largo and just got off and just was running. Another thing, who remember the Chinese lab? Who remember the Chinese lab they found? With all that dangerous shit in there. Y'all remember this? Westrup investigates illegal Chinese operating on U.S. soil. "20 potential infection agents were stored under inadequate conditions." Y'all remember that? When they found that lab, who remember that? Y'all remember when they found that lab with all this poisonous, toxic stuff? In Reedley, California, who remember that? And they found all this stuff. And like an illegal bio lab. Who remember? All these boxes and stuff, some of them had all kind of dead animals and stuff in them. HIV, hepatitis, herpes, all that. Coronavirus, remember? They found in this building. No people in it. Who remember that? Y'all remember that? It was found in this building. All this shit is beginning to make sense. They've been having this problem for a while. Because they didn't let them people invade this country with all these boxes, with all this. They don't even know. They just had to burn all this stuff. They didn't even want to open this shit. They didn't even want to open this stuff. They just burnt it. Because they didn't know what it was. Well, they didn't let them people in this country like that. And ain't nobody know who they are. And people be like, okay, so what that got to do with anything? Man, listen. These Chinese coming over here with all this stuff, and you owe the Chinese 759 billion, that's a problem. You owe them 759 billion. They want their money. And they ain't got no respect for you. You owe them. They don't owe you nothing. Now you want to go to trade war with them while you owe them money? How you going to go to trade war with somebody but you owe them money? So this ain't making no sense to me. So that's why I'm all alarmed. Because it's not making no sense that you're going to go to trade war with somebody but you owe them. You owe them 769 billion. How you going? How? What? Go on trade war with them based on nothing. Right. Right. Devastating. Then the TikTok. They wanted to shut TikTok down. All of that is very suspicious right now. Look, they have increased the Coast Guard's presence in the coast waterways of the U.S. See? Oh, God, y'all. Tomorrow, we're going to be over here tomorrow. Well, later on the day, it's going to be crazy over here. Y'all go do all your research, have all your information to add into the chat. And later on the day, we're going to retouch this, which is not going to be a good life. This is not going to be good. I don't even know what we're going to call it. But this is not going to be good. And I don't do conspiracies. I do not consider this a conspiracy. This is not looking good. And everything is lining up. So much stuff makes sense now. Like none of this Trump administration or nothing, I didn't know what they was doing. I figured they was just experimenting. But now that Musk and all these oligarchs and all this stuff going on, it now is beginning to really make some sense. Along with all of these like agents they got on social media telling us that everything might collapse and do you have enough water and how to survive if things shut down. And there was some drones a few months ago and nobody knew what the drones was, and people was complaining about the drones and the government was like, well, they're not enemies. That's all they said. They just said it's not enemy drones, but didn't tell you what it was. And it was people was panicking seeing all these drones on the East Coast. Ain't no telling, Teresa. For all we know, the Chinese could have burnt that shit up. China built them highways, yes. China's down there trying to take over in Panama, right? Trying to take over the Panama Canal, right? Trying to take over the Panama Canal. Got military in Djibouti and in Africa. They all over Africa. Trump talking about he want to take over Greenland, and they not telling us something that they all know. You know what? This is something they all know because the Democrats are mighty kind of quiet about Musk and everything. It's almost like they're all scared of something else. And they're like, okay, Trump, do whatever, do something. Y'all don't think the Democrats is a little quiet? They got the one black girl doing all the rattling and raving, but y'all don't think they're a little quiet? They're a little quiet. And y'all don't notice Trump look haggard and tired? Like he ain't getting no rest? I can't believe this shit, y'all. These people finna go to war. I had just been here and I kept talking about Taiwan, 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 Taiwan. These people are finna go to war. They ain't following through no impeachment, nothing. They too much going on, Posse. It's like that we gotta go back and deal with that later. We got issues going on. It looked like Biden don't know what's going on. The Democrats ain't got nobody that can handle it. They didn't want to put the. Now I see why they didn't vote for Harris. Now I see why the whole government didn't want Harris. They like, no, we don't need no woman. We finna go to war. She probably can't handle it. Because I was wondering why they just think the woman can't handle it. Now it makes sense. If we going to war, yeah, they wasn't gonna put her in there. The Democrats would have had to come with a strong man to even have a chance to win. These motherfuckers finna go to war. They finna go to war. This all makes sense. Even you see all the prisoners that got out there to fight the fire? They sending them to war. They'd be like, you did a good job. Now, if you go to war, we'll let you out. If they'll send prisoners to put out fire, They gonna send prisoners to war to get their time cut. This is some deep ass shit. That prisoners fighting fire was an experiment. They got soldiers because niggas in prison is in good shape. They exercise all day. They're already in boot camp. Man, they finna. Man, this is crazy. Now I'm putting a piece together, I'm looking, because nothing really made sense. But now, and I forgot, I got to do my research. I'm going to be ready later on today. Because what's the deadline for Taiwan? You know, they have a deadline where Taiwan's supposed to go totally independent. And China's supposed to scoop in there and take it. And I think that's this year. Hold on. And then I'm finna go. Oh, God. I think this is the year they're supposed to do that. I don't know how I let that slip. Will China take the potential devastating step of invading Taiwan? If so, when can we expect an invasion to happen? So when is it expected to happen? It's not clear to anyone, much less when. There will be an all-out military conflict between China and Taiwan. The uncertainty around when China will invade Taiwan boils down to a myriad of internal and external factors. China is considering its own military readiness and that of the U.S., Japan, and Taiwan. And we owe Japan $1 trillion. Perceived goal reaction. The overall regional military balance of power and the United States political appetite for intervention. While a full-scale imminent Chinese invasion of Taiwan may not be certain, various trigger points highlight potential windows of vulnerability or tension in the coming years. 3 years ago, Admiral Phil Davidson, the former commander of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, told Congress that China could be ready to pursue its goal of taking control of Taiwan by 2027. What the hell? Look at this. This say 2024 to 2028. In 2025, when Taiwan's military predicts China will be ready to invade, the year 2025 is marked as a strategic significance, as Taiwan military predicts that China could be prepared to execute an invasion by then. See, there it is. Bingo. There it is right there. There it is. This projection underscores the importance of accessing a geopolitical landscape during this period, as the perceived readiness of China could influence regional dynamics and prompt preemptive measures from Taiwan and its allies. So they saying this year. Okay. Wow. I forgot to keep up with that. I was paying attention to that like 2 years ago, and then I just forgot about Taiwan. Pharaoh said, and if you look it up, China has a zip code here in Alabama. Yeah, China was starting to move in. China's got already moved in the Panama Canal. This is just simply crazy. I'm gonna end this because I gotta go. I gotta lay down. I gotta get up. I gotta think about this all day. I gotta do some research and come and talk about this today. It looked like I'm gonna have to do a live stream on what's going on with this. I'm gonna have to do a live stream on survival. You're gonna have to get some rice and beans up in your crib and a way to have some water. I'm telling you, man, these people going to war. This is all making sense. These people are going to war. These people are going to war. I could see it now. I see what's going on. These people are going to war with China. This is why they don't want to put a whole lot into the situation. They telling dude in Israel, dude, you gotta chill. That's why they kind of want him to calm down. They don't want to be one with the Tahoutis and all them. Russia, they like, listen, that's why Trump treated Zelensky like that. Like, dude, we got bigger problems than you. We don't know what you and Russia gonna do, but go fucking figure it out. It all makes sense. They're like, dude, we don't care nothing about you and Russia. We not beefing with Russia. We beefing with China. That's why I just seen all them Chinese come to their headquarters. What was that, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago? All the Chinese came. It was time for their big leader to do whatever they do. And they was real. Their vibe was their vibe wasn't cool. They looked like they looked like they was preparing for war. Did anybody see that where all the Chinese get together? Did anybody see where they all came? I forgot what you call it, but they all showed up to Beijing. They was not playing either. They wasn't playing. I just watched that. I can't find it right now. All right, y'all. Ain't no need. I can't really figure out right now. Once I seen this, it messed my whole live stream. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change the title because this kind of like put me in a 911. And once I seen it, it kind of messed my head up, y'all. So once I seen this, a lot of stuff didn't make no sense to me. And we done went down a rabbit hole because once I see that you owe China 759 billion and you owe Japan a trillion and you owe the United Kingdom 723 billion, I gotta relook at everything America's trying to do. And it ain't no way you owe them 759 billion and you talk about no tariff war with them. That's not making no sense. How you gonna go to tariff war with somebody and you already losing? Does that make any sense to y'all? Can we have a tariff war with China when we owe them 759 billion, or what does it mean, or what? Am I not understanding something or something? Do I not know it? What am I? I'm not understanding. How can you go to tariff war with them when you owe them $759 billion? And Americans don't know you owe them $759. Don't nobody know that. So how Trump and them having all these government stuff talking about what they gonna do with China and never tell us they owe. And then they ain't tell us that y'all owe Japan $1 trillion, really? And the United Kingdom 723 billion? Y'all owe the United Kingdom almost the same amount y'all owe China. And they keep talking about China this and China that, ain't saying nothing about the United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom, you owe them just a little bit less than you owe China. But then you owe Japan $1 trillion, you ain't saying nothing. How you owe them $1 trillion and you ain't saying nothing? And so now you're doing this fake tariff war. I'm confused as hell. Kathy, I'm confused. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. When I think I know something, I come tell y'all. I know this, I know that. If I get over here and I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. At that point, whatever anybody say in the chat, we gotta read it and go with it. Cause that can't nobody go against me because I ain't standing on nothing right now. I don't know. I have no clue, which is perfect for people think I know everything. I don't be knowing, and I know what I'm talking about, but I ain't really talking about this. It's clear I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't really know what to say. I had no idea we owe Japan $1 billion, $1 trillion, $1 trillion we owe Japan. What the hell did we buy? Okay, they bought our debt. Our debt for what? Why don't taxpayers know how much you owe when you get your money from the taxpayers? Will somebody explain that part to me? You have your citizens pay your taxes. Some kind of way you messed all the money up, but the citizens don't know. Somebody need to be in prison. Do Americans know we broke? Because it looked to me that America is flat ass broke. Kathy, and then China own land all over the place. No wonder. And then okay, so Where is all our tax dollars going this year? Because if you owe China all this money and you owe Japan all this money and you owe the United Kingdom all this money, you're going to take our tax dollars. It's not going to come back to help us. It's going to go to pay off this debt. So our services, we ain't going to have no services. And now all of a sudden you firing all of the government services, trying to make up everything other than the fact y'all can't afford to pay them people. Can y'all believe this shit? All this protest over government shutdown, they ain't got no money to pay them. That's why Elon sent them home. They cannot pay them. They didn't send them home for no government takeover. They are broke. God damn. You know them people that just protest, you know they don't know that, you know they don't know this. You know the people that just protested do not know this. They bought Musk in, let him take all the backlash to make it look like he don't know what he's doing. But whatever you do, don't tell them we can't pay y'all. So we sending y'all home. Do you believe this shit? They sending them people home because they cannot pay them. Can y'all believe this shit? They got us thinking Elon Musk making a mistake and he trying to cut back spending. No, they don't have the money. And he went to look who they can't pay and sent everybody home that they can't pay. We cannot pay y'all. Go home. We ain't got your money. We'll send everybody a big check and that's it. We're going to send you all the stimulus. And that's it. Y'all kiss our ass once you get the stimulus. Because the rest of this money, we're going to have to go to war with China because we ain't giving them shit. The terrorist shit, the ticket is all a fucking scam. Can y'all believe this shit? I can't even do my live stream because it ain't. I don't know. It ain't making no sense. You cannot have tariffs against somebody you owe. How you gonna have tariffs against somebody you owe $759 billion and telling Americans we'll win when we have the tariffs? How? God, America thinks, oh, the tariffs is good. Then business will come back to America. So, bro, come on, man. That's not going to wipe out these debts. If Americans knew that we owe Japan $1 trillion and we owe China $759 billion, and they'll really fall out when they find out, on top of that, we owe the United Kingdom $723 billion. There's hardly no Americans know that. I know this for a fact. Don't nobody know that. Man, don't nobody know that. Why I ain't heard it? Y'all heard anybody say any of this? Anybody in here knew that we owe Japan trillion, and the United Kingdom, 723 billion. Did anybody know that? Man, that tariff is to fight us off. Man, that tariff ain't got nothing to do with China. That tariff is to confuse us so we don't know what's going on. Man, that tariff is to confuse us. Think about it, man. If we was China and you owed us $759 billion and you told your citizens that you was going to put a tariff on us because we ain't fair, we'll laugh. We'll say, if Americans know what he's doing, wouldn't we? Because you're telling Americans that you can even the score, but you owe me $759 billion. You owe Japan $1 trillion. You owe United Kingdom $759 trillion. So China know you lying to your citizens. They just ain't saying nothing. They're like they lying to their citizens. Try and make it sound like we the problem when they broke, when they done messed all them people money up. They don't want the American citizens to know they done messed all their money up. Am I lying? All of this terrorist stuff, all this stuff is just something to make up because they don't want to tell the citizens that they done messed our money up, that our money is gone, that we're paying taxes to a government that's in a hole. We throwing money down in a hole. There is no retirement money for you. They've been robbing Peter to pay Paul. And they can't find nobody else to rob. It don't take no rocket scientist to see that. That's why all this shit was fake. They had all them people out there protesting. And instead of telling them people, we can't pay you. They got all them people thinking, you know, Elon Musk, I kind of got some respect for Elon Musk. He done fell on the sword. Man, he done fell on the sword. He getting a bad rap. Ain't that a bitch? Elon ain't really did nothing wrong. He falling on the sword. No wonder he always look like he know a secret. They didn't call them oligarchs and they said, we ain't got enough money to pay this. I don't got enough money to pay this. I ain't that rich. I can't bail you out. I don't got enough. They ain't even got enough oligarchs to pay this shit. How much Elon Musk worth? And if you don't get the fuck out of here, we in serious trouble. Look at these numbers. $1 trillion to Japan, 759 billion to China, 273 billion to the United Kingdom, right? Look how much Elon got. On my soul. He only got enough to pay off. He only got enough to pay off China. Where we gonna get the money to pay off? He either could pay off the United Kingdom or China. He don't got enough money to pay off Japan. No wonder he there looking like, well, I can help you a little bit, but I don't got enough money. All them oligarchs ain't got no enough money to pay off. This is super duper crazy. Man, this is so crazy. He only worth 386 billion. And we owe Japan a trillion. And we owe China 759 billion. And we owe the United Kingdom 723 billion. So Elon ain't got that kind of money. And he got to do all this stuff and keep his mouth clean, keep his mouth closed, to not tell Americans. Because I was always wondering why Elon always looked like he knew something. He always looked like, he always got that smirk on his face, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is such bullshit. That's what he be looking like. All that shit they trying to do, Sheena, is not going to do none to this debt. This is crazy. GK. Exactly. They not giving up their money. They going to go to war. They going to go to war. They not paying you shit. They're not giving all their wealth to you. You either squash the debt or fight. They'll just take your money from you. Look, they went and took all Saddam money. That's all they did. All they did was took all that gold and all that shit. And where is that shit? They ran through it. Now I see why they left all of them weapons over there to the Taliban. They couldn't afford to bring them back. They broke. They broke. They are broke. They are broke. It all makes sense now because America's moving like it's broke. The states are moving like they don't got money. The cities are moving like they don't got no money. I don't know if y'all see, but if America's moving like we don't got no money and we sure can't get nothing from the government. Okay? So all that stimulus stuff, that's a plot to try to make us think they got some money, so they gonna throw us some bird food so we can't see they flat ass broke. Man, I gotta let this go. This is too much. My head is spinning. You know what I'm saying? I can't really focus on this no more. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up and then I gotta try to sort all this out. I gotta sort all this out. And I'm gonna have to like go get me some food and put up and all this. My mind's going, because these fools finna go to war. They finna have lockdowns and shutdowns and all type of shit. These fools finna go to war and these fools ain't got no money. They ain't got no money. It's one thing for them to have money, don't want to pay you. It's another thing when they ain't got no money and they can't pay you. Man, the United States government has been broke for a long time, and now they're flat broke. That's what it's looking like. That they was able to play it off a lot of years. That's why Trump is president. All this is making sense. They're like, put a millionaire in there. We can't have no regular people in there. Get Trump, get Elon, get somebody with some money. Maybe they can figure this out for us. Think about it. And Elon and them said, listen, I can't help you. You done fucked up my business. I can't sell a Tesla no more. You didn't hurt my bottom line to Tesla. Tesla want me to step down. Yeah, I gotta redo my whole live. I'm gonna change the name on this, man. Y'all support the channel. I mean, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the support. I appreciate y'all. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man. Y'all seen me. Some of y'all seen me do a lot of lives. You ain't never seen me like this. I'm confused. I don't know really what to say about this. I'm trying to figure it out. This is not the live I wanted to do. And this is definitely alarming. It really is. I got to turn up my survival because the weather, and you could tell, man, we just in a bad zone. We just, it's almost biblical. You know how you have a wicked person and they is a king of Babylon and the Bible said got to fall. This is exactly, because, man, these people ain't on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the problems we got. This, and the environment is acting a fool. The environment is acting crazy. So imagine what the government is thinking when they're collapsing economically and Mother Nature's tearing up everything they got. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm going to come back. I'm going to figure it out. When I do this live, we're going to do this live later on. And when we do this live, y'all be ready. When we do this live later on today, probably a little bit after midday, all y'all try to find y'all information and come up with the information. It's going to be a different live. It's not going to be a live. When I come back talking about this, and it's going to be titled, China going to be in the title, so you know the one. And I've seen your card tore up, Titan, and you too, Titan. So y'all go get the information because this live is going to be like a group live. I mean, you're going to have to contribute because I don't really know what's going on. So this is going to be a group live when I come back. It's probably going to be, let me see, 5. I'm going to take a nap, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably going to be about 3 or 4 this evening. 3, 4, 5 this evening. That live, come with the information so that the public could see what's going on because I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm just going to have pieces because they have kept us in the dark. But I do know everything they doing, they not telling us the truth. All them people they sent home and all of that, that's all fraudulent. That has to do with the fact they broke and they should have just told people that. And they done sent all them government people home and all that and ain't told them the truth why they did it. Instead of telling people, Elon coming in here to cut costs because we got to find some money to pay these people. How you going to tell me you're trying to cut costs before you tell me you owe every goddamn body? Try and make it like the American citizens, we wasting money on American citizens, giving the money to American citizens in a wrong way. But the whole time you've been broke. And the citizens, we ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't even know you broke. We don't even know you owe Japan $1 trillion. Don't nobody know that America owe them $1 trillion and our taxpayers' dollars is just going down in a hole. None of our dollars is going for services because they owe so much. So you paying Social Security and it ain't even going to Social Security. It's going to Japan and the United Kingdom. And China. Ain't going to be no money for no services. Straight to my China owned all this land over here. Duh. They letting them get land and try to pay off these debts. China damn near finna buy America and Japan and the United Kingdom. They're gonna own the place. So America tending on making them own the place and then pulling guns on them, say we ain't gonna give you shit and go to war with them. That's what America. That's the only answer. They're gonna get they're in a big debt and they're gonna say like, "Fuck you, we ain't giving you nothing," and pull a gun on China. Bitch, we ain't paying you. Japan, we not paying you nothing. Our debt is zero. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna try gangster. They ain't finna pay that shit. And they're gonna make you take it off the books. Take it off the books. That's what's finna go on. Y'all think about it. I'll see y'all around 5 or 6 this evening. I hate to report this to the American citizens. I swear to God. This one of the worst. This one of the most. I don't like this live. This is my most disappointing live ever. I am so disappointed. This is a horrible live. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Yeah, they got over on us in slavery, but the thing was, that was the us and the reincarnated. We was here, but we was here way back there. We here now though, and this is helping them live and direct now. You know what I'm saying? So imagine GK trying to get reparations for some broke motherfuckers. Hell no, we ain't gonna get no reparations. They ain't got no money. This why they not entertaining reparations. They ain't got no money. They would have gave us reparations. That all makes sense. They would have paid us reparations. They ain't got it. They should have just came out and said, we ain't got it. When we get our shit together, we give it to you. They don't want to say they ain't got it because then a lot of people, we're going to want them to leave and we're going to want to put our own politicians in there to make sure shit get done. And the same ones been stealing is the ones in there. All them old ass people that been in there 50,000 years been stealing. The Bob Doles and all of them the ones been stealing, misallocating funds. And they scared if the Americans found out that they paid them all that money and they ain't got none of it to show for nothing, man, these people will tear this place up. Because basically, a lot of our money is going into a hole because the interest on them debts is what? Americans do not know that they working a job and they money they taking out your check is going to China, Japan, and the United Kingdom. They do not know that. I'm telling you, they don't know that. I'm telling you, they don't know that. Americans don't know that. Americans ain't got a clue. I'm telling you right now, nobody in America that's getting any kind of money, whether it's reparations, whether it's social, nobody knows these people is flat broke. None of these, because a lot of Europeans tease us, say, you ain't going to never get no reparations. They do not know that they not getting no Social Security or nothing either. Man, they do not have these people money for Social Security and for these programs. These programs get ready to get cut off because ain't nobody going to loan them no more money, no debt on top of no debt. And then they went out here and made enemies with all these other countries. Yeah, they trying to increase the age limit of Social Security because they ain't got no money. Anyway, y'all be ready about 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. Bring any information you got, support the channel, and y'all stay positive. But I don't know what to tell y'all about this. I ain't never heard nothing this. I ain't never seen nothing like this, man. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's the worst live I ever did. We're going to deal with it this evening. Deuces. I can't say victory because we holding the L right now.